Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dennis, and I will start by apologizing. Somehow I messed up the mic, so we don't have any sound on this video, so I'm having to do a voiceover. So I apologize about that. We are heading into like a floodplain along a river, and that's where we're going to take a couple of photographs using the lensless 25mm pinhole camera. As you can see going down in here, this has had some tremendous floodwaters come through here in the past. You can see all the trees from the logs of the past just stacked up over the years of the moving water of the floodwaters. I'm assuming this has been years ago. I haven't, of course, I haven't lived in this area very long, so it's never come close to anything like this. But you can see, and I'm going to try to show some of how the flood waters have really been risen up, because the river is a little bit off, and you can see some water there from some rains, but that's just from rainwater. That's not from flood water from the river itself. So anyway, I'm getting out the 25mm pinhole camera, and I just got this camera and I'm just kind of testing it out. So I don't have any real opinions on it yet. I have taken a couple other photos with it, but just kind of playing around the house with it, and they weren't anything exceptional. You load the film just like the other lensless pinhole cameras I have. You have some dowels that force the film into the back, which is pretty good, really, because it really puts the 4x5 film pack in there really tight. So you can see I brought my tripod along, but I don't think I'm going to use it. I'm going to find something here right on the ground and kind of experiment with that, being such a super wide angle. I'm not really sure what to expect, but anyway, here we'll find out together here. In situations like this is when I so far have a problem with trying to figure out the exposure, because you have so many dark areas and bright areas, and I know it's impossible to get all of them exposed correctly. So I just do the best I can and hope it comes out the way I would like to visualize it. But if you've watched my other pinhole camera videos, you know, for me, every photo is a new learning experience for me in pinhole photography, and I'm enjoying it. If you haven't tried pinhole photography, it might be something to look into. The lensless cameras that I'm using here, they're not all that expensive to get into, especially for a 4x5. So you might check those out. Lensless Camera Corporation. But here I'm sure I'm just talking about the devastation of floodwaters, how they've looked like they've come up and rearranged trees from, I'm sure, downriver. So let's get this picture taken. The exposure time I did decide on this photo was 43 seconds. So we will see how I did on that. Whether it comes out the way I'd kind of visioned it or not, but I'm sure it'll come out a nice looking photo no matter what. So there was the photo, and I'm sure it might have been able to come out better, and if I took another one from that same spot with a different exposure time, it would probably look different than that shot there. But I don't feel it was too bad. So let's get the camera put away here and see if we can't scout around a little bit for another photo possibility, and just look around and marvel at all these tree trunks and limbs and everything else that's been pushed from downstream up into this area. I will come back to this area sometime and do a little bit more exploring on downriver and see how it looks compared to this area here. Let's keep searching for another photo opportunity. So I'm eyeing up this tree right here to see what I like the way the tree trunks are, and you can see where they're all pretty exposed, I'm sure from the erosion of the soil of the floodwaters, making it look this way. And so this is what I am going to take a picture of. And again, using the 25mm lensless, it's a super wide angle, so you get a lot of picture, that's for sure. Now might be a good time to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. I have plans for lots of new pinhole camera videos. And while we're setting up the camera here, you might also give the video a thumbs up if you would like. So let's get this camera set up and get this exposure done. Figure out what it's going to be here, which it ends up being about 1 minute and 32 seconds is what this photo exposure was set at. But while we're talking about what all might be in, the one thing about it is the camera doesn't give the wide angle that the 25mm will, so what you see is definitely not going to be what's going to be in the photo. But anyway, we can kind of imagine what we'll see, and such as that. But let's get started here with taking the photo. If you haven't ever done long exposure photos, I'll tell you, it's amazing how long it seems 1 minute and 32 seconds is, which that's really not that long of an exposure. But it seems like it takes forever for that countdown to go. But you can kind of look around and enjoy nature, see the surroundings, look for another photo opportunity, and just enjoy being outdoors. It's actually towards the end of May, and you see I have a coat on. It's probably in the 50s, which is kind of unusual at this time of the year. But I'm not complaining. It was pretty nice temperature-wise. So this should be getting counted down pretty close here. Yeah, let's get this shutter closed up and check out and see how this picture turned out. The one thing about this photo that really jumps out is the rocks in front of the tree. How they're not all that big when you see them in the video, but the photograph has really brought them out and really made them a part of the photo. And I really like the effect. And what do you think? I'm looking for help here and how I do like how this 25mm takes pictures. But you can just see all that timber just stacked up from the flood waters. It's just kind of unbelievable because this river's not all that big of a river. It really isn't. But this flood area is probably 3 times bigger than what the river actually is. So it's a pretty big area. But right now I'm not really seeing anything today anyway that strikes me to take another photo. But we'll look around here a little bit. That's just unbelievable how that gets all stacked up there. But I believe we're going to kind of be ending this video. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and again, if you could hit that subscribe button, certainly appreciated. And hey, why don't you go out and grab your camera and go out and search around for some photos to take. It's a lot of fun.